Greetings and lots of love. I would like to take up English teaching for your class 12th. Before I come to teaching, I would like to tell you that in the virtual lecture, I have made an option in which you will be able to see the pages of the lesson. Also, when I explain the stuff, kindly go through the lines along with. Now, I start the explanation of the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. First of all, I would like to tell something about the poet. Stephen Spender, 1909 to 1995, was a poet and English essayist. Spender had keen interest in politics and so he declared himself as socialist and pacifist. His work concentrated on themes of social injustice and the class struggle. Now, the introduction of the poem. The poem, written by Stephen Spender, describes the social inequalities which are prevailing in the society. In the poem, he describes the condition of the students of an elementary school, which is situated in a slum area. The poet wants to draw attention of everyone to these kids so that their life can be improved and they may get trained to become good citizens rather than criminals. Now I'll explain stanza number first. So in this first stanza, the poet describes the children who study in an elementary school which is set up in a slum area. The poet says that the faces of children are dull and without any energy. They are not full of energy like other kids of their age. These children are compared to unwanted weed. Here, the writer wants to say that these children seem to be unwanted like the unwanted weeds which grow on their own in the fields. Their hair is not neatly done, it falls on their pale faces as if they have been torn apart. The children are untidy, they haven't combed their hair. Then he describes a tall girl who seems to be burdened by poverty. Her head is bent, maybe because of tiredness or shame. There is another boy who is so weak and thin that he has been compared to a sheet of paper. The boy's eyes reflect greed and he wants to achieve everything. Then he describes another student who is physically disabled. The poet says that this boy is unlucky because he inherited a disease from his father due to which he has a deformed body. Instead of getting any facility from his father, he has received a disease inheritance. This disabled boy is sitting on his bench and is reciting his lesson. At the back of the class, in dim, dark area, was a small boy who was not visible to the poet as he was sitting in darkness. The poet could see his eyes, which were bright and full of a dream. He was not paying attention to the class. It seemed as if he was rather interested in playing with squirrels in the tree house. Now, the explanation of the stanza number second. In the second stanza, the poet describes the walls of the school. They are cream in color, like the color of sour cream. This means that the walls are not clean. They have not been painted recently. The walls are covered with different charts and images that must have been donated by different people. There is a picture of Shakespeare on the wall. His head, which is bald, looks like the rising sun at the horizon. At the time of daybreak, the sun is rising at the horizon and is semi-circular like a dome shape. It seems to be behind all the cities. There is a picture of famous Tyrolese valley which has beautiful flowers. There is the image of a map which helps all in its own way. But for these children, the map of the world is irrelevant because the slum where they live is different from what is shown in the map. Their world is only what they see out of the window of the classroom. The slum. Their future is full of darkness. Their future is compared to a narrow street, which means that there is no wide scope available for their future growth. These children are far away from the radiant light of knowledge and education. Now, the explanation of stanza third. So, in this third stanza, the poet further says that these children living in the slum area have faced so many hardships that they feel every other person to be their enemy. For them, Shakespeare is an evil man. They don't find the map to be a good thing. They were never liked or loved by anyone. Therefore, they hate almost everyone. Their desire of being loved by others forces them to steal. They live in small homes and they have started adjusting to it. Their life is going towards an endless night. This means that their future is full of darkness. These kids are so thin that one can easily see their bones through the thin layer of skin. Their skin is like the thin layer of cloth, and the bones beneath are visible through the skin. These kids suffer from malnutrition. They wear spectacles which are made of steel. They are cheap and very uncomfortable. Even the lenses in the spectacles are repaired. The spectacles look like stones which have been repaired with pieces of glass sticking out of them. Here, the poet tries to explain that these kids have to face so many hardships in their lives. As these slums are getting bigger, they will destroy the future of these children, and it is very difficult for such kids to escape from them. Now, the explanation of stanza number 4, and this is the last stanza of this poem. So, in this stanza, the poet says that the government should take notice of the problems being faced by these kids. He urges them to change the life of these kids and make the world map a reality for them. There is a need to break the restrictions which are put on them due to poverty and lack of resources. He wants the governor and public to help these kids in achieving their dreams, as this will take them away from fog to azure sky. The poet here wants to say that in this way the kids can be taken away from the darkness of their present to a bright future. He wants these kids to experience the scents and the beauty of nature, as this will lead to a desire of gaining knowledge. They will then go through the white and green leaves. Here, white leaves depict books and green leaves depict nature. This will then result in their progress, and they will be able to paint a bright future of themselves. So students, this was the full explanation of this poem. If you like my video, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.